There was a report that Thanasis Antetokounmpo, Giannis's older brother, who plays on the Bucks, there's a report saying that NBA teams don't think he's a real NBA player. And I'm like, duh. Like, of course they don't think so. Of course he's not good enough to play in the league. But he's in the league because of his brother. Let's talk about it after the bumper. Stay tuned. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYJr YouTube, Facebook, and wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe. Now, there was a tweet that was put out earlier about an NBA exec talking about Thanasis Antetokounmpo and how they don't believe he's a real NBA player. Let me go ahead and read to you this tweet from NBA Central. I'll actually show it on the screen, and then we'll dive into it because all of it makes sense. It says, when asked if Thanasis Antetokounmpo would be on an NBA roster without Giannis Antetokounmpo's assistance, 3 NBA officials responded as follows. An NBA player personnel director said no. He responded immediately. An NBA scout said, let me think about this for a few seconds. He then paused for 10 seconds before answering no. And an NBA general manager, hey, we know what that's all about. It's all about appeasing Giannis. But to answer your question, no. Well, duh, he wouldn't be an NBA player. Thanasis Antetokounmpo is a 30-year-old older brother of Giannis Antetokounmpo, the best player in the NBA. And so when you have the best player in the NBA, you appease the best player in the NBA. And appeasing Giannis is keeping his brother on the Milwaukee Bucks, keeping his brother on the roster, keeping his brother by his side in a city that probably, in a city that keeps him happy, and that is Milwaukee. Giannis was probably this close to leaving the Milwaukee Bucks back when he was a free agent, but he decided to re-sign and ultimately help bring that franchise a championship. And that's what I said. I said, yo, when you have a player of his caliber, when you have a 2-time MVP, a guy that's the best player in the NBA, a guy that brought you a championship, a guy that brought your franchise to relevancy for the first time in like 30 years, you keep him happy. And that means paying his brother less than $2 million a year to keep him happy. You do that. If that means keeping his brother on the active roster to keep him happy, you do it. And that's what I said. I said this. He brought this franchise a championship. The first championship since Lou Alcindor, not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The man's name was Lou Alcindor when they won the championship, and Oscar Robertson was playing basketball. So if keeping his brother on the roster happy makes him happy and keeps him from leaving, you do it. No questions asked. Now, the Thanasis, this is why you do it. This right here, this image over here to the right, this is why you keep the Thanasis on the roster. This is why you keep the shorter, less talented, older brother on the roster. For that thing, that Larry O'Brien right in the middle. Think about this. Since Giannis has become the Giannis that we know, like the dominant, 2-time MVP, the Milwaukee Bucks have won a championship, were the favorites to win last year until Chris Middleton got hurt, and are once again one of the favorites to win it again this year. And it's all because of this guy. But maybe you don't have this guy, or maybe this guy isn't as happy, or maybe this guy doesn't want to resign with you in the era of player mobility if you don't keep this guy. I mean, the NBA is all about mobility. We've seen Kyrie Irving on 3 teams in the last 4 years. We've seen Kevin Durant on a bunch of teams over the last few years. We've seen LeBron James change teams a bunch of times. We've seen Chris Paul change teams a bunch of times. We've seen Kawhi Leonard change teams a bunch of times. But this guy wants to continue to remain loyal. And part of it is because the Bucks do things like keep this guy around. It's all simple, man. Thanasis isn't hurting anything. I mean, this is a man for his career. This is his career stats. For his career, averages less than 3 points a game. This year's averaging less than 1 point a game. For his career, averages 8 minutes a game. This year, only averaging 4 minutes a game. That's not hurting anybody. That's not hurting anything. And yeah, okay, it costs you $1.75 million a year to pay him. And some people said, oh, he's taking up a roster spot that he doesn't deserve. So what? So what? His brother's good enough to occupy 2 roster spots. And if whoever you are, if you can't, I saw one of the tweets in the reply said, if you can't get playing time over Thanasis, then you probably need to be playing in Europe anyway. Call it nepotism, call it whatever you want. It happens all around the world. It happens in every company, in every city, in every state, in every country, in every part of the world. Nepotism, favoritism, whatever. The big dog gets to decide what the heck is happening. And that's just the way the world works. Shout out to Giannis for being as great as he is, because he didn't have to be that good. And if he wasn't that good, his brother wouldn't have a spot. But since Giannis is that good, his brother gets a spot in the NBA and has carved out a decent, long NBA career that includes an NBA championship. So shout out to Giannis. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Should Thanasis, what do you think? Should Thanasis be on an NBA roster right now? I say yes, because his brother's Giannis. My name is JeffLightsYJr. This is the Victor Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYJr, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Also, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JLightsy7, on Twitter and Instagram at JLightsy7. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Peace.